You know what song I'm talking about?
Let me sing like several of them and tell me when to stop. I'm going to share this with you and our listeners. In high school, let's take it back 20 plus years. I don't know if you noticed this, and maybe it stood out. Maybe because I just watched Barbie, and so I'm always about female empowerment. Okay,
Amen. Let's go.
let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Real Chumps, where chatting about movies feels like hanging out with friends. I'm your host, Marcel, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Danny.
In this week's episode, we actually bit off more than we can chew. We decided we initially wanted to review two different movies, and the first one being Night and Day, and then Miss Congeniality. And
I just felt like we weren't giving
any of the movie, or we didn't give Night and Day enough justice for what we were trying to do, and we were rushing so that we had enough time for Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
And we just want you to know that, like, we cut all of that out, like 35 minutes, so that we could provide you a better pod because we care about you.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean, Miss Congeniality is such a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great one. I'm glad we discussed it. Also, there's a musical break for many of you.
Yes. Stay tuned for, if you're a Swiftie, please stay tuned because we get all Swiftified.
I love you, T-Swift.
We do. You're great. You're on top of the world right now, and it's amazing. Also, quick note: we will begin doing sponsors, and sponsor will be Riverside. I'm not going to do a sponsor ad break now because I just wanted to prep you. But there'll be a link in the description that is an affiliate link. So if you wanted to get Riverside, that's how we do our guest recordings, but you could also use it to create your own podcast. I will also leave a link down below for you to get a free, I created a podcast Kickstart guide. And if you would like to, if you sign up when you get that, you'll get that free download guide that talks about podcast mics, talks about editing software, talks about hosting and some of that other stuff. Completely free. I just want to let you know. And then that way I am working on putting in a workshop so that if you want to start your own podcast with a buddy like Marcel, you can do that.
Off onto the show.
Okay. Question of the day is not actually pertaining to anything to do with today's episode.
Okay.
But it actually has to do with the fact that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did come out this weekend, and it is a little bit of a different animation style.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on studios using different animation, like being different and seeing more of it?
I'm all for it. Look, and we're going to talk about this in our episode about the summer recap, but I have very strong feelings that Pixar is starting to fall behind because they're not doing anything innovative with their animation.
Interesting.
Like we had Elementals come out, and I think there were some issues with the marketing for Elementals.
Yeah.
But before that, what was the last Pixar movie? Lightyear.
Lightyear.
Lightyear was Pixar. Encanto was Disney.
What is
Disney Animation?
yeah, I think you're right.
Lightyear was the last one, which also struggled for other reasons. And then before that, you had Luca, I think, that came out during the pandemic, right?
Yep.
When they sent it straight to Disney Plus,
Yep.
which I loved. I love Luca.
Me too.
But they're not doing anything exciting with their animation. And so I think Pixar is they are at a point of like a reckoning for their studio.
Yeah.
Where if they don't try to do something unique in their animation, I think in 10 years, Pixar might not be around.
Wow, that's a really bold statement.
But look at the way that the box office numbers for their animated movies have done the last 5 years. Not too good.
Man, we really need to be. We are gonna get into the weeds for that episode. Here are my thoughts. I have similar thoughts to you. I don't know if I'm as bold to say that, but what I do want to say is that like Pixar paved the way to showcase the animation is something that's worth doing.
Yes.
I 100% agree that they are being maybe too cautious, maybe too confident in what they have. But I think that what people have found via Spider-Man, and some of these other like non-traditional or non-Pixar style animations, is that there is room for people to come in and create animation and use it as another tool to tell a very engaging and captivating story.
Yes.
So I think it's exciting, and I am here for it. I will say I was a little taken aback when I first watched the trailer, but as I watched it a little bit more, saw some other things, I came around to it. I kind of liked this little. It felt it definitely felt a lot more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle-y than everything that's come out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm gonna watch it.
Me too.
But yeah, no, I'm all for animation studios to try different styles of animation. I'm really excited for Wish, the Disney one that's coming out, because they're combining like 2D and 3D animation into one, right?
Yep.
I'm excited for that. I don't know if the story has captivated me from the trailers. I'm just like, but I'm excited for like the style.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that it was a teaser trailer.
Yeah,
I think so. I'm holding out.
Yeah.
In any case, let's get into this Miss Congeniality.
You really enjoyed this movie.
I enjoyed this movie every single time I watch it.
As a matter of something I noticed, I don't really care too much for like Rotten Tomatoes ratings, but on IMDb, these two movies have the exact same score.
Really?
And before you look at it, what do you think that score is?
What do they rank it out of 10?
Out of 10. And they do decimals and everything.
A 7.5.
Okay. No. They have the exact same score at a 6.3 out of 10.
Wow.
Both of them.
6.3, huh?
Do you think that's a fair rating?
That's a fair rating.
For both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for like the average public, yeah. Like an average viewer giving both those movies a 6.3, it's above average. It's a good time, right? I do think that probably Miss Congeniality's
better.
When I think about the public, and like it had a huge win. Like it was almost not. I don't know what the breakdown is for the budgeting wise for Miss Congeniality, but I know that when it came out, it was like a big like female win.
Yeah.
Movie, right? And so, and again, like I said, like I had several friends that, and even I myself, every time I watched it, it was like, I love a good Sandra Bullock movie.
This is like what our second Sandra Bullock movie, right? Yeah. She's solid. Look, it had a budget of $45 million, and gross worldwide it did $212 million. Hence why it got a sequel, right?
Look, we said this, I think, a couple weeks ago. Like, maybe not. Did we say this? That more movies should
scale down their.
They should scale down a couple budgets, throw out a couple things, see how things go. Let people like flex the like constraint muscle.
I think we talked about it there in our video, which if you haven't seen of Oppenheimer and our journey, that's where we talk about this.
Yes.
Go check it out though. But yeah, no, it's a very scaled down movie. Stakes are high. You have a great cast, and I think it's such a unique story of the concept of putting an FBI agent undercover at a beauty pageant, at a Miss Universe scholarship program,
Miss USA
scholarship program, not a beauty pageant.
Not only is it like, I think what's there is like, it's going for the underdog female.
Yeah,
a female who is beautiful, is intelligent, is there, but has almost taken steps to feel like not try to pursue any of that because it got in the way. Right? I love that it opens up with the scene of the playground.
Yeah.
Right? It sets the complete tone, right? That she realizes, hey, I want to help this person who she finds like equal in the sense he's cute, he's smart, and then being shut down hard as a kid,
as a child, in front of peers,
which I still think holds up today.
Oh yeah,
right.
And that puts her on this path of recognizing that she is different, but that she needs to, hide certain feelings, certain emotions,
Right.
certain expectations,
Right.
in order to quote unquote fit in with her male coworkers.
Correct.
Right. And it's demonstrated so well as a child, and we don't need to see the rest of her upbringing. We get that from that scene, right?
Exactly. And then I love that it goes to a smash cut into this op. Okay. The op is, get this whole, it's probably, the next 10 minutes or so. And it portrays beautifully how this is played out in her life.
Yeah.
We get an instant payoff in the sense of like what this looks like in real life for her as a field agent, showcasing her prowess in the sense that she's an elite officer. She, in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And so, but has difficulty fitting in like the norms.
In the norms, yeah. Something that I don't know if you noticed this, and maybe it stood out. Maybe because I just watched Barbie, and so I'm always about female empowerment. Okay,
amen. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're two.
It's two guys,
but we both married really strong women, and so like,
and we only have daughters.
Right? So we really want our
Yeah.
girls to see these types of movies and know that they are powerful.
Yeah. But I noticed that ops scene, especially at the end when the colleague gets shot and two guys run off, whatever. Pay attention to this next time. No one, even Benjamin Pratt's character, no one looks at her in the eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such a smart decision.
Yeah.
Right? Through the conscious decision of the director to say, no one look at her, straight eye to eye. That just tells us how everyone views her as an agent, as a female colleague.
Yeah.
Right? They don't respect her.
They don't look at her as like,
an equal.
Not only they don't look at her as equal, they don't even look at her as like, they look at her as like that one weird, not even like a girl.
Yeah, that one weird person that works with us.
Yes.
Right? And like Benjamin Pratt's like body movement, like she's standing next to him and like he's just kind of looking off to the distance, and she's wanting to catch his attention, not romantically, but just because she's trying to explain, like, and she's concerned for her coworker, right? And no one looks at her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so like that sets the stage for how she feels.
Yeah.
And then it cuts into the next scene where she just goes home and just vents out, punches the ghost again. Yeah. Hits a punching bag, and like just the loneliness that she feels, not only at work, but at home too.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved this introduction of the character from her as a child, her on the field, and then how people treat her.
Right. I also the set design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for that that one apartment scene. This is another case for a set design kind of like like context.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One scene, a feeling, an understanding, her coming through, breaking coming in, trying to release that tension. Cut to her getting into the car, going to pick up the coffees.
Yeah.
Which I love that scene. Dude, that is all freaking fun. Walking in, hey, FBI, everyone out of the way. And then goes up and like completely delivers the full on there. Okay, I have a quick question about the whole premise of this is the fact that like the hidden in plain sight beauty. And I, for some reason in my head, I have Taylor Swift song.
Sing it, Danny.
I cannot sing it because I can't even remember what the freaking song's like. What's the one? Is it the what song I'm talking about?
Let me sing like several of them and tell me when to stop. We are never, ever, ever getting back together.
No,
not that one. Okay. Because now we have bad blood.
No, next song. I love that you're singing the.
What else?
No, the one that like the bleach like. It's the one that was like super popular around this time.
Are you kidding me? All her songs are free. At
You're
this
right.
time, she wasn't. She was a child at this time. Look what you made me do.
Maybe. Look what. No. It's older. It's like one of her. What's the freaking song? Love Story? Yeah, I think it might be Love Story. Right? She's like, or maybe it's the one where she's like, she's like, seeing a boy, he doesn't notice her.
Dude, these are all her songs.
Swifties, I'm so sorry. Please don't at me. You can at me, aren't you?
Literally just said it's a song about a boy and the boy doesn't get. Are you kidding me?
We're gonna get wrecked. We're gonna get so wrecked. We're gonna get 701 stars for not knowing this. What? Anyways,
You Belong With Me?
Maybe that one. Yes. Let me look at the lyrics.
She wears short skirts.
Yes.
I wear t-shirts.
Yes. So this movie, this song.
Okay.
Because it's this idea of like, no one notices you, but you. And the thing though is that she has buried that desire to want to be noticed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I fully believe that she felt that in high school. This character felt this feeling that Taylor Swift depicts.
She's the one in t-shirts.
T-shirts.
There's the other girls in
yes.
cheer captain.
Thank you for coming along this journey.
And I'm on the bleachers.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a
She
good
actually
song.
might not be on the beach. She might be on like some bench playing football.
That's true.
Anyways, no, but like to me, I felt like that's like it's just that's what it is. And so my question to you is like, what is one? Do you think any other any other actress could do it as good as Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of actresses and movies out there that kind of address this, like
No, go.
that address these themes, right? Of like societal expectations.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
But Sandra Bullock is really good at doing it in like a comedic way, right?
I feel like almost realistic way.
Okay, all right, yeah.
To me, I feel like While You Were Sleeping,
Yeah.
same feel. In the sense of like she's kind of like in the background.
She's in the background.
People don't notice her.
Yeah.
And I think like
That's true. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
I want to say America Ferrera also has done this quite a bit.
Yeah.
That is girl that doesn't, she played Ugly Betty, right? Wait.
Yeah, Ugly Betty. Yeah.
But I think there's something about Sandra Bullock. Whatever.
Yeah.
She like the way her mannerisms, the way she is able to like just deliver it, like I just feel like it hits so hard.
Yeah.
It, like almost to the degree that like this is actually part of her own character, that she does not care if she's beautiful on screen or if she's not. She's a professional actress that comes in to do what she loves, which is making movies.
Yeah. And you go through her filmography, right? And she has played everything, right? Whether it's within one movie playing the tomboy versus the super elegant, pretty beauty contestant, to whatever she's done in all of her filmography. She's very
astronaut.
Yeah, astronaut. But I think that goes to like the great casting of Sandra Bullock. Right? You asked like who else could do something like this. I don't know. In early 2000, what other actress could have pulled this character as good as Sandra Bullock? I don't have one come to mind.
If we had another Miss Congeniality today, who would you cast?
Oh, that's a great question.
That is a great question, right?
Very good question.
I feel like there's some really great sleepers. I'm gonna have to think about this one. We might have to put this up as a poll on our YouTube.
You know who I think would be great? And maybe because I just saw her in Barbie. Emma Mackey.
Yeah.
She was funny in that movie in Barbie. I really liked
she
her.
Was.
I think she would. I think she would be a good.
She would be a good one.
Yeah. If they did a remake.
Okay. Anyways. Anyway, sorry,
dude. We've digressed. So I love this.
I'm so sorry.
So many directions. I love it.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about pacing.
Okay.
For this film.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the pacing?
You know, I I really like just we're introduced to the character, we're introduced to the conflict, and we just go with it, right? And not just that, but like we don't go from like, okay, here's a conflict, let's put her undercover. No, we're then introduced immediately to Candace, to Kathy Morningside, right?
Right.
And Michael Caine's character, and then from there we go to her makeover scene, and then from there we go into undercover. Like it's very well paced. Never did I feel like we were moving too fast, and never did I feel like we were moving too slow.
Yeah, and also
I think the only one scene that maybe I would cut out, is the coffee scene.
Oh,
I don't know. I think like
they proved the point. They didn't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
I don't remember when Starbucks was like came through, but I feel like this might have been a thing for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
you're probably right, because the movie takes place in New York, and I think, well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Starbucks was huge. Seattle, way before it ever hit New York.
1971, right? But, or maybe it's the fact that like, we live post-COVID. That it just, I don't know, that idea of like a freaking super bustling, and like that with Grubhub and all these services that we have, like mobile order, you can just walk in and grab your stuff.
Right.
That like people who are regulars could like put in their stuff. Anyways,
no, it's a
I think there's something to be said about that. Like, there could have been cut out. I think so.
Yeah.
They could have easily, her showing up with like, all right, I got all your orders, and then like them doing that scene, and it would have been paid off. Wouldn't, you know?
I get it, the comedic element there and the beats. I get it.
I feel like this movie has a lot to teach us in pacing.
Oh, okay.
I like you said, we go into these things, but at every single moment, I think we linger long enough to have a moment of growth, or of like character growth, for not only for what's her actual name in the show? Agent whatever.
It is Gracie Hart.
Gracie Hart, but yeah. So for Gracie, but for Kane's character, okay, but also for the lead, what's his name again?
Benjamin.
Yep, Benjamin. Right. We have these moments that you come in, the scene takes place, it's just the length that it needs to be, and we're out.
Yeah.
Because like there are scenes that are longer. There's scenes that like we come in, we're out. And to me, like as I was watching this round, I just felt that there was a lot of it was great. Like I remember, I know who like you watch it once and you remember, but to a degree, like I love that, like we don't, like they do a great job always setting up the stage for them following the wrong person, and then we come back and we find out that she gets completely shut down when she realizes that that there might be a copycat trying to do something.
Yeah.
Right. And again, we get pulled back. Right. And so the growth we have with her as a character in the beauty pageant, with herself and who she is,
the confidence she gains, not only as a FBI agent, where she's saying, no, I'm sticking to this, I have a gut feeling. I think,
give me a small team,
right?
You don't get a small team.
Yeah. And even like the director of the FBI showing up and saying, no, we're leaving, we caught the killer. No, like if you're going to stay without any backup, right? So the confidence she gets as an FBI agent, the confidence she gets as well in this environment, right? Of finally feeling comfortable in her own flesh, right? In her own body or her own image, whatever it is, like to want to stay, to have built relationships. I love as well the growth, because we only see her interact with other males, right? In the force. And now we see her interacting with other females and like finding that sisterhood. And yeah, there's those scenes of the girls being catty to one another, right? At the first, but then I love the scene of when she shows up and like
A hot mess.
And like they're about to go on stage and she's, figuring out like, is this a lipstick? And then like the one girl says, like,
Rhode Island.
Ladies will help you. Like, and they all jump in to help.
Yes.
Right. So I love the not duality, but like the two forms of confidence that she gets and growth of being confident as an agent and to be able to stand up to her superior, Benjamin Bratt, and say, I am staying. And also the confidence she gets to stay in the beauty pageant and make it as far as she does. Yeah, it was rigged to a point, but then to make it that far and say, no, I'm confident in what I'm doing as a woman. Not necessarily in the stereotypes of like, this is what it means to be in a beauty pageant or whatever, right? But to say, no, I feel confident in who I am with these women.
Yeah.
And to be seen as an equal or as an equal with them.
And because you just recently watched Barbie.
Yeah.
I watched Barbie that one opening weekend.
Uh-huh.
To me, I guess my question to you would be, do you feel that Barbie had, because they both do similar things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you feel of when you think back of the pacing, when you think about what the pacing can do you think, is it warranted to think about them in like a similar, maybe that's not the right question. What am I trying to ask? I think watching this movie shortly after watching Barbie,
yeah,
I do wonder how it's going to play out in the long term, this Barbie.
Okay.
Whereas like Miss Congeniality, I'm not saying that like, because like there's something to be said about these movies that like they have a heyday and then they kind of like, they get put on television as like the ones that you can like, oh, this is, I want, I'm just going to throw this on while I'm doing dishes. Right. It's a movie that I like or whatever. And they're very different styles, obviously. But I think it warrants watching Barbie.
Yeah.
Now watching Miss Congeniality, having a similar feel of like women empowerment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And just like empowerment for the underdog.
Yeah.
Right? But most importantly, women empowerment.
Yeah.
Do you feel, what's the question?
Which one has like a clearer message, or which one will endure
in like 25 years?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Our kids are going to be sitting doing this podcast.
Yeah. Someone's going to take over.
Someone's going to take over.
This empire we've built.
By that time, we'll have a freaking media empire. When people, and they sit down, they're like, let's revisit two female empowerment movies.
Yeah. Which one's going to resonate?
Which one's
Barbie. And I think one thing I didn't like about this movie, I get it. This movie came out 23 years ago.
Yeah.
But was Benjamin Bratt's character all of a sudden giving attention to
100%
to Gracie, right? And there's even, I love that I watched this right after Barbie. There's even a scene in Barbie, right, where one of the Barbies goes to Ken and they're pretending, right, to still believe in patriarchy and whatnot, right?
Under the influence.
Under the influence, right? And one of them is wearing glasses, and she's like, I don't feel pretty. How can I gain confidence? And then Ken looks at her and just goes, and takes her glasses off. You've got it now, right? Like such a typical 90s, 80s, early 2000s trope of saying that women only look good without glasses, right? That their whole personality and beauty and attractiveness is based on these glasses, right? And so like the fact that this movie does exactly that and says, oh, you are now attractive because you went through this makeover.
You wanna kiss me.
Right? So like that, I was watching, I'm like, it's funny that I just watched Barbie and they make fun of this trope in movies.
And here it is.
Right? So like just alone that will resonate.
I think that Barbie is what Barbie did
Yeah.
was it took what many other of these movies, not to say it, this movie didn't do it for the women in 2000.
Right.
But the thing is that like we as a society have grown. And I love that like she throws in Barbie, we have this whole other act with Ken and the patriarchy and what it does for like this Barbie land situation. And also for Ken and the Kens. Right?
Kingdom? Is that what? Kingdom?
The Kenland. Yeah. In any case, that there's stuff to be said that like for women, but also for men.
Yeah.
That we can't just go in and say, oh, you know what? Just because you're wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like back to the, Taylor Swift situation, right? Like we as a society have to be better as a whole.
Right. And I think there was a point where I was like, Gracie, don't give this guy
I know.
a second of your time. Like, you deserve better, right? But I get it. It's early 2000s. Unfortunately, that's still how it was being portrayed, right?
I don't remember how the second one ends.
I've never seen the second one.
You've never seen the second one?
No, I heard it wasn't good.
I don't remember. I saw it a couple of times. Definitely not as much as the first one, but no. Because now I want to know, like, did they...
I don't think he's even in the second movie.
No. Right? The whole thing is there, but like what happened? Like, did they try to fix that? But then studios got in the way. That's the thing I want to know. Anyways, in any case, it was a good time watching it.
It was a great time. I want to talk about Michael Caine.
Yes.
Michael Caine is a gem in this movie.
A complete gem.
In his introduction in the restaurant is so good. I love him in this movie.
You know what I think even amplifies it is the fact that Sandra just gives him, like, they play to each other.
Yeah.
And that the directors and like they wrote this scene, but they picked these wonderful actors to play the parts that just like the donuts. Then him knowing, okay, no. And I also love that he was so against. He knew from the second. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not the person.
No, this isn't what I signed up for. Yeah. That's how bad Gracie's appearance is. The walking scene. Oh my gosh! Like how he's just teaching her to walk. He says, "Hold on, I wrote the notes." Oh, he says something along the lines of like, "I haven't seen a walk like that since Jurassic Park." Oh, yeah.
It's a wonderful line.
I love that line. Michael Caine, he steals it for me in this movie, which he's done a lot of comedy, right? And it was great to see him kind of tackle this genre again. What a great movie!
It is fun. You know what I love most about it is that we keep getting more movies that are to empower women.
Yeah,
but they're all better.
They're better, right? You brought this up, right? Like in 20 years when our girls are doing the podcast, right? And I'm thinking like, what movie, how can I talk about both, going back to Barbie and Miss Congeniality, right? How do I show this movie to my girls, right? And what conversations can I have in saying like, here's a movie from when I was your age, and here's a movie that came out, right? Like when I was an adult. And like
we went and saw it together.
We went, right? And just be able to say like, give him a history of like, Benjamin Pratt is a dick, and so is Ken. Like, even though Gracie chooses Pratt at the end of this movie, no, she should not have, right? And why? And have those conversations, right? Right. I'm excited for that. Even though I love Benjamin Pratt, but yeah.
But the character is right? Yeah. But I'm excited for that. There's something to be said. Like movies have always been a way for our generation, our society, since movies were created, to be able to share some of the lifelong lessons.
Yeah.
But also learn to be able to see, like, be able to watch something and not have to live that situation.
Right.
Which I think is a wonderful tool.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, why do you think teachers, we just had, the Dippo Society on and the impact of what that did in a classroom, right?
Yeah.
Similar situations, I feel like, like they could take scenes from both Barbie and Miss Congeniality plus whatever other movies come out and they have come out that also emphasize both the good and the bad in all situations.
Yeah.
Because we need to have the conversations.
We need to have those conversations. Yeah. Lastly, I'm going to share this with you and our listeners. So she, obviously at the end of the movie, she wins Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
Which is the award given traditionally. The contestants choose which of the women, made the experience the best, et cetera, et cetera. And she won Miss Congeniality. In high school, let's take it back 20 plus years. So I got to participate in our school's beauty pageant. Hold on. I was excited to hear this story. Our high school mascot was the Bruin. Okay.
Okay.
So every year they would do the Mr. Bruin pageant. Okay. Did your school do that?
We didn't have that, but we did have there was a time where there was like the Mr. Royal.
Okay.
It was like you were a senior.
Yeah.
And the men would get picked. I was also.
Were you okay?
I got part of that. I actually got sick, and I couldn't participate because we'd always when you did it, you'd have to go and learn one of the dancers would teach you a routine, and you'd have to dress up in like one of the dancers.
Yeah.
The thing. I got the flu, and I couldn't do it, and I was pissed.
So the way our school would do it, every club would select one male senior to represent that club.
Cool.
And I don't remember what club I got. I think I was in student council, so I think the student council elected me to represent. Anyways, so I did the pageant, dressed up in athletic wear for the athletic wear section. We even had the local. Do
you have photos? I need photos for the edit.
Dude, I don't think I do.
You wouldn't have any. Of course you wouldn't. I'm gonna scout. I'm gonna find somebody. I have a very particular set of skills.
I wonder if I'm trying to think of who else was on there and if they had photos.
I'll find photos. Don't you worry.
I'll ask around. But I remember my parents didn't show up to it. They thought it was a joke.
My mom also. She was like, "Danny, what are you doing?"
But anyway, so we did the casual wear, the formal wear. We had one of the local tuxedo places lent out the tuxedo wear. Did a talent. Anyways, at the end of it all, my talent ended up being really bad. I played the guitar, which I'm not a guitar player. I was starting to learn it my senior year, but anyway, guess what I won?
Mr. Congeniality.
I was Mr. Congeniality.
What a man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We should have led with that story. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna set the whole episode with a little
Mr. Congeniality.
We're going back 25 years.
So you're looking at a Mr. Congeniality, Mr. Bruin Congeniality.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we talked about this movie just for that story.
Just for that story. Not that great of a story.
It's a great story. After talking about Miss Congeniality. So did you stop the bomb from going off?
I sure did.
Oh, see? Well, so next time they do this, we're not going to have a Miss Congeniality. We're going to have a Mr. Congeniality.
Mr. Congeniality. Address the stereotypes of men.
We're gonna do a gender role flip.
There we go.
On this movie. Alrighty. Well, this was a fun talk.
This is fun. Great conversation.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm glad. We want to do new releases, but they're just too new to talk on the pod.
Yes, that and look, we're both parents.
Yeah, we don't. We're not.
It's so hard to make it out sometimes to new releases and then record and then edit all within a couple of days. So you know what?
It is what we have to adapt.
Yeah, and let us know. I would love to talk about Barbie. I really would.
We will have a video posted to YouTube because we'll probably have a little conversation thing that we do. But as for the pod, we're gonna stick to these because I think these is where we had time. Like, I mean, I watched it 10 times, or possibly 10 times,
possibly.
And it's a great movie that I've fully enjoyed. But I am so happy that we have more movies that are doing it better, like I said, and that we will hopefully have more movies after Barbie that do it better,
or continue to build
on it.
Yeah.
Because, as a dad like you that have girls, I want my girls to know and to be able to not have to live it, but can be able to like have a reference and learn from them before it even happens. Before they have to. They can go into the world a little bit more prepared.
Exactly.
They might still face different,
of course,
because it's life, right? It's it's not a movie, and sometimes we do have to learn those lessons the hard way. But luckily, we have things that we can maybe learn from, to make it less sucky.
Yeah.
So in the comments, I want you to let us know what is it. Tell us what you. When's the last time you saw Miss Congeniality? Do you like it? How do you feel like it compares to Barbie? Or just let us know what your thoughts about the movie.
Yeah, it was great to revisit it, and I'm curious to know, like, if this is your first time watching it, like, how does it resonate to you in the year 2023?
It's great question. Next week we will be joined by a special guest from the Undercast company, and her movie the movie that she has chosen for that has influenced her is Across the Universe. So put on your Beatles hit tracks, rewatch this movie, and come join us there.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.